He was sitting in a hospital room when the walls finally stopped lying to him. Not his room, his father's. The chair was vinyl, blue, the kind that squeaks when you shift your weight. He'd been sitting in it for 3 hours. His father was asleep. The machines beeped in rhythm, steady, indifferent. He checked his phone, 2 emails, a text from his wife asking when he'd be home. He started typing a response, then stopped. The room smelled like disinfectant and something else, something tired. His father's hand was resting on the blanket, thin, spotted. He looked at it for a long time, tried to remember the last time he'd held it. He couldn't. His father woke up around 4, opened his eyes slowly, found him in the chair. "You're still here." "Yeah." "You don't have to stay." "I know." His father closed his eyes again. "I'm sorry," his father said. "For what?" "For making you sit here." He didn't know what to say, so he said nothing. His father had worked in insurance, 42 years, same company, same desk. He'd come home at 6:45 every evening, eat dinner, watch the news, go to bed. On weekends, he'd work in the garage, fixing things that didn't need fixing, building things no one asked for. He remembered being small, 6, maybe 7, standing in the garage doorway watching his father sand a piece of wood. "Can I help?" His father had looked up, smiled. "Not today, buddy. Maybe when you're older." But when he got older, he stopped asking. By the time he was 12, his father had become a routine, a figure at the dinner table, a man who asked about homework and said, "That's good," without really listening. He'd left for college at 18, came home for holidays, then just Thanksgiving and Christmas, then just Christmas. His father would ask how school was, how work was. "Good." "That's good." They'd sit and watch football, not talking, just sitting. He got married at 26. His father walked him down the aisle, said he was proud. They hugged, quick, formal. He had a daughter 2 years later. His father came to the hospital, held the baby for maybe 3 minutes, said she was beautiful, then gave her back. The visits became routine, once a month, sometimes less. He'd bring his daughter. His father would sit in his chair. She'd play on the floor. They'd talk about work, about traffic, about the weather. His father would nod, say, "That's good," in the places where that's what you say. His daughter got older, 3, 5, 7. "Why doesn't Grandpa talk much?" she asked once. "He's just quiet." "Why?" "I don't know." But he did know. His father had spent his whole life working, providing, doing what needed to be done. And somewhere in all that doing, he'd forgotten how to be anything else. The call came on a Tuesday. His mother. His father had collapsed at work, heart attack. He'd driven to the hospital, 40 minutes. The whole way he'd been thinking about work, about the meeting he was missing. He'd walked into the room and seen his father in the bed, smaller somehow, and he'd felt something he didn't expect. Nothing, just the numb recognition of a person he barely knew. He'd stayed that first night. His father had woken up around midnight. "You should go home." "I'm fine here." His father had closed his eyes. "You're more like me than you think." He didn't ask what that meant. The days blurred. Hospital visits, work calls. His daughter asked to come see her grandpa. He said maybe later, when he's feeling better. But he didn't want her to see this room, or maybe he just didn't want to sit there with both of them. Didn't want to see the gap that had been there so long it was just the shape of things now. His father got worse before he got better. Pneumonia, complications. His mother sat by the bed every day, holding his father's hand, reading to him. "You should go home," he told her once. "Get some rest." "I'm fine here." "Mom," she looked at him. Her eyes were red. I know I don't have much time left with him. One afternoon he came to visit, and his father was awake, actually awake, sitting up slightly. "Hey, Dad." "Hey." They were quiet for a while. "I need to tell you something," his father said. "Okay." His father looked at the ceiling. "I wasn't a good father." "Dad." "No, let me say it." His father's voice was quiet. "I thought if I worked hard, if I provided, that would be enough." He didn't respond. "But I missed it," his father said. "All of it. I was there, but I wasn't." The words sat between them. "You remember that birdhouse I built when you were small?" "Yeah." "You asked if you could help. I said no. Said maybe when you were older. I remember." "I was scared," his father said. "Scared you'd mess it up. Scared it wouldn't turn out right." He watched his father's face. "But that wasn't the point, was it? The point was doing it together." His father turned his head, looked at him. "I did that with everything. Kept you at a distance because I was scared. Scared of being close. Scared of failing." His throat felt tight. "So I just worked, built things in the garage, and the whole time the thing that actually needed attention was right there. And I couldn't see it." His father closed his eyes. "I thought I'd have more time. But time doesn't wait for you to be ready." He wanted to say something. "I forgive you," is what he finally said. His father opened his eyes. "Don't forgive me." His voice was quiet, almost a whisper. "Learn from me." He sat there for a long time after his father fell back asleep. He thought about his own daughter, about the nights he worked late, about the times she'd asked him to play and he'd said, "Maybe later," about all the maybe laters that never came. He thought about his wife, about how they'd stopped really talking years ago. He thought about his job, about the emails and meetings that filled every space in his head. But sitting in that room, watching his father sleep, none of it felt like it meant anything at all. His father died on a Saturday, quietly. His mother was holding his hand. He'd been at home. He'd meant to visit that morning, but there was something he needed to finish first. By the time he got to the hospital, his father was already gone. He stood in the doorway. His mother was still holding his father's hand. "I'm sorry," she said. "I called as soon as..." "It's okay." But it wasn't okay. He'd missed it. The last moment. The last chance. He'd been finishing something that didn't matter. Something he couldn't even remember now. The funeral was small. People said things like he was a good man and he worked so hard. But standing there, listening, all he could think was how none of those words captured anything real. His father had worked hard. He had provided, but he'd also been absent, even when he was there, and now he was gone. And there was no fixing it, no going back. Just a vinyl chair in an empty room and the memory of all the things they never said. He went back to work the following Monday. People told him to take time. He said he was fine. His daughter asked about Grandpa sometimes. "He's in heaven," his wife would say. One night she asked him, "Do you miss Grandpa?" He didn't know how to answer that. "Did you miss someone you barely knew?" "Yeah," he said, "I do." What he missed was the chance, the possibility of something different. But the chance was gone now. A few weeks after the funeral, his mother gave him a box, said his father had left it for him. Inside was the birdhouse, the one his father had built when he was 7. There was a note taped to it, his father's handwriting. "I built this while you watched. I should have let you help. I'm sorry I didn't. I thought there'd be time to build another one together. There wasn't. Don't make my mistakes. Let her help, even if it's messy, especially if it's messy. The mess is the point." He sat on the floor of his garage holding the birdhouse for a long time. He thought about all the hours his father had spent out here, alone, building things, not because he loved building, but because he didn't know how to do anything else. That night, he asked his daughter if she wanted to build something. Like what? I don't know, whatever you want. She thought about it. A castle. Okay, a castle. They went to the garage. He pulled out some wood, some glue. She picked up a hammer, started hitting a nail, missed, hit it again, bent it. Oops, it's okay, try another one. She did, bent that one too. He started to reach for the hammer, to show her to do it right, but then he stopped. Keep going, he said. You're doing great. She smiled, hit another nail. This one went in straight. I did it. Yeah, you did. They worked for an hour. The castle didn't look like a castle, but his daughter was proud of it. She picked it up, held it like it was the most important thing in the world. Can we put it in my room? Of course. She ran inside. He stayed in the garage for a minute. He looked at the birdhouse. He thought about his father, about all the things he'd built out here while his son stood in the doorway, about all the moments they'd missed while being in the same space. He thought about the hospital room, about his father's last words. Don't forgive me, learn from me. He'd spent his whole life becoming his father, busy, distant, chasing something he couldn't name, and it had cost him the same thing, presence. He could keep going, keep working, keep building things alone in the garage, or he could stop. He turned off the light, closed the garage door, went inside. His daughter was in her room, arranging the castle on her shelf. Dad, look, I made space for it. It looks perfect there, she smiled. He sat on the edge of her bed. Hey, tomorrow, want to build something else? Really? Really? She hugged him, quick, tight. He held on a little longer than usual, because he knew now what his father had learned too late. That time doesn't wait, that someday doesn't come, that the room where your priorities finally speak is always a room you enter alone, holding the hand of someone who can't hear you anymore. Sonnet 4.5,